Hey guys, thanks for checking out this video. So today I'm going to be doing an unboxing of the Yeezy Boost 380. So just a little bit of background, as you probably already know, but Yeezy is part of Adidas. They're sort of like a sub-brand of Adidas from a collaboration that they've been doing with Kanye West since I think about 2015 now, so it's been a little while. And the 380 model first came out in November 2019 with the Alien colorway, which retailed at about $230. But I'm going to be talking about the Onyx colorway today, which came out almost a year later in November of 2020 and retailed at $250. It comes in reflective and non-reflective colorways. I have the non-reflective one. Don't get me wrong, I very much appreciate the dazzle, but I am not trying to break the bank. This is the box right here. It's a pretty standard shoebox experience. I actually do think there are some things about it that are really cool and thoughtful. You know, the way that it's just like this kind of plain cardboard look and has this, you know, this sort of slide out experience rather than just, you know, having like an upward opening. I feel like maybe this is me overthinking it, but I do feel like the box kind of plays into the whole like futuristic sort of cyberpunk, like warehousey kind of vibe that Yeezy has. So I actually really appreciate this cardboard box. But anyway, let's get to the shoe, which is definitely the more exciting thing. So here it is. This is the 380. As you can tell, it doesn't look super fresh and new. That's because I've had this for about 8 months, so I'm actually a little bit late to this unboxing video, but you know, I've worn these a lot. I've lived my life in them for a little while, so I'm actually going to do an unboxing and also a little bit of a review of these sneakers, so you can hear about what it's like to wear these in your life. You know, one of my favorite things about this sneaker, just to kick it off, is the colors. This colorway is just really rich and has these beautiful dark kind of earth tones. Super different from the earlier colorways of this sneaker that were, you know, lighter colors. The Alien colorway was, you know, mostly white with like a little bit of green and blue, so cooler tones. This is a little bit earthier, and I also like that the sneaker uses tones that are both black and brown. You know, the upper has a lot of brown tones to it. The sole is brown. The laces are actually black. I love wearing black and brown outfits. So I think it's cool that it has both of those families in this, and it does it really seamlessly in my opinion. So the upper is made of that signature Adidas prime knit material. I think the prime knit is really interesting. I've seen a lot of videos and reviews that call it stretchy. I don't know if stretchy is the word that I would use to describe it. I mean, it has a little bit of stretch, but like you really have to pull it for it to stretch. I would say it's more like flexible, you know, like it's very flexible. I don't think I would call it stretchy though. Besides this top part where you put your foot into the sneaker, like this part is stretchy, but this isn't, you know, like the Balenciaga speed sneaker. This isn't a sock shoe that's gonna just like form around your foot. So I would say it's more flexible than anything else, but it's definitely a cool material. The prime knit is very light, it's very durable, which I think is great. You know, durability is something I look for most in a sneaker. I think it's a great achievement. So, you know, this is definitely my go-to day-to-day sneaker. I've been caught in the rain a few times in these in the city. I actually stepped in a huge puddle once while I was wearing these. I was like chasing after a taxi and I didn't see this puddle, but the sneaker dried super well. The prime knit didn't have any damage. It didn't look, you know, messed up or anything. I mean, you can see like it still looks like it's in pretty decent shape, which it is. It has very little marks or changes to it. So yeah, you know, the water didn't ruin them, which I thought was cool because I think with this kind of material, I sort of assumed that it would. Maybe I just don't know enough about prime knit, which is very possible, but I think the durability of these is one of their best features. The design is also really interesting. As you can see, the shoe is very abstract. You know, the shape of the silhouette itself is pretty unconventional for a sneaker, which I think is really cool. This is pretty standard for Yeezy. I mean, most of their silhouettes are pretty unconventional, but I think this one in particular is very interesting. And also the pattern on the upper is really interesting too. You know, it's like sort of this abstract digi camo ink blotty sort of vibe, which I think is really cool. I love the pattern because it is so unique. And it's also subtle though, you know, it's not like crazy flashy or anything. It's just beautiful, and the pattern works really well with the material. So the next thing I think is cool to point out about the shoe is the lacing. So it has an infinity lacing system, which means that the lacing is just aesthetic. It doesn't actually serve any tightening purpose. But I actually think this is really cool because there's no like clunky bow at the top of the shoe, which maybe this is a hot take because tying your shoes is like a thing that most sneakers have to do, but I actually think that the bow at the top of the sneaker can mess with the look of it and actually be an eyesore on a lot of sneakers. So I really appreciate that this shoe doesn't have that. I think that this infinity lacing is like the perfect complement to the rest of the futuristic design. I know I've said futuristic in like every other sentence in this video, but I think that that word really encompasses the essence of this sneaker really well. But yeah, so the sole is also really nice. It's like this cool pale clay colored sole. It's like almost even translucent, not white, but almost. In my opinion, it looks like someone took like some futuristic goo or something and like froze it and made it into the sole. So really cool sole going on here. But yeah, so just to, I guess, to summarize what I think the highlights are of this shoe, the first one is the design, which I know is kind of a broad thing to say it's a highlight, but I think the look in general is just really cool, and I don't really know any other way to say it. It's just next level futuristic. I get so many compliments on these every time I wear them, especially because of how they look on foot. They look very cool on foot, and I'll add some video at the end of this of, you know, what that looks like with me wearing them. But you know, just a very interesting look. I think because they're so unique and so trendy, they can even be dressed up a little bit. You can wear them, you know, with like a pair of black jeans to a nicer restaurant, to a bar, something like that. The other thing would be the durability. Like I said before, I've had these for 8 months and I've worn them almost every day. I've worn them everywhere. They are in really good shape. You know, you can even see just like up close. I don't know if you can tell, but like the upper looks really good. It still looks great. They don't look like they've been worn every day. So yeah, very durable upper. The colors are dark and there's kind of this pattern, so it doesn't really like show a lot of wear very quickly. The sole has stayed in good shape too. You know, like there's a little bit of scuffing that you can see down here, but nothing too crazy. You know, I don't mind that. I think that's like expected for a sole like this. I would say the biggest drawback would probably be the comfort. These are a little bit narrow in the toe box area, and they don't look narrow right now, but they are, in my opinion. Maybe I just have fat feet, I don't know. But I found that they're not the most supportive sneaker. I think I find this with Yeezys in general, that they're just engineered a little bit differently, which is fine. Maybe it's just not the perfect sneaker for my foot. I think that when I wear these for a full day out in the city of just walking everywhere, my feet will hurt a little bit at the end of the day. But, you know, for just like going to a restaurant, going to somewhere where you're gonna be sitting, you know, just walking around for a little bit, going for a walk, something like that, I think these are great. I wear them to work where, you know, I'm sitting at my desk for most of the day, so they're good for that too. So yeah, nothing crazy. I've just found that like I obviously like wouldn't go for a run in these, or like I wouldn't be like running a marathon in these by any means. I mean, I wouldn't be running a marathon period, but you know. So I think overall, I would recommend this sneaker. I love this sneaker. I will definitely be getting another pair of these. They are the most unique sneaker that I own. I think they're also one of the most versatile shoes I've ever owned, which I think is really important. They're just a cool looking shoe. I think that's what it comes down to. You know, they make me feel confident when I wear them, which I think is really important. And I think they're just stylish. So the other thing I want to address about these is that I feel like they got a little bit of hate when they came out. I think they still get hate now. Some people love them, some people really hate them. And so I just want to talk about why, because I think it's interesting. The first reason I think is because they followed the 350 V2, which of course was probably the most successful shoe that Yeezy has made. Very popular, comes in tons of different colorways. And this is sort of like the underappreciated little brother. Actually, when these were announced, they were originally called the 350 V3. So they were part of that series. And I think that drew a lot of people to make comparisons. They ended up changing the name to 380, I think probably because they ended up being a pretty different shoe. You know, like this shape of them, like just the shape this way is very different. The overall look of them is different. The patterns are different. So I think they ended up just being in their own category. And I try to think of them as separate, and I think maybe that's why I like them more than most people, because I think of this as it's totally its own sneaker. You know, I also really like the 350 V2, but I think these have just features that make them really unique, and so I appreciate them a lot. And the other point that I've seen a lot is that Yeezy is over is a big one, which it's a whole other topic that probably deserves its own video. Is Yeezy over? I don't know. I think at a certain point, all trends are over. I guess the question is Yeezy a trend, or are they a brand that's here to stay? In my opinion, I think, you know, whether we like it or not, Yeezy has totally changed the game of what we look at as a sneaker, and, you know, what sneakers can be and how they can look. You know, they're just, I mean, every brand has changed the game in some way, but I think Yeezy has found its own place where they have sent out this message that's really powerful about what a sneaker can look like. And I've seen what I think is the Yeezy influence in a lot of other brands. So Yeezy might be over, maybe not. What do you think? I guess leave a comment and let me know, wait, is Yeezy over? Are these better than the 350 V2? Can we even compare them? Are they too different? I want to hear what you guys think, so let me know, write a comment, and I'll post another video pretty soon. But thank you for checking this out, and enjoy what follows, which will be some videos of this shoe on my feet.